Cool.
Hello and welcome to Helping the Helpers. My name's Paul Hutchings, co-founder of Refugee Support Europe, and we're producing this series of videos about volunteering based on some of our experience of working in crisis and emergency situations with lots of volunteers, in the hope that it's is helpful to other people, particularly at this time with the massive volunteer response to the coronavirus outbreak, and talking to some of the brilliant volunteer coordinators who work with us around the world, and very happy to be joined by Dan Ransom, who was our volunteer coordinator in Greece for over 18 months. Hello, Dan.
Hi, Paul. Hi.
Dan, in that time you worked with probably around 300 volunteers from around 20 countries, and what was that like?
It was quite an inspiration, actually. There was always fresh ideas and new ways of doing things that would not have been there if we just had a block group of volunteers. Um, yeah, and things as my role as a coordinator, I had to kind of try and get these interesting ideas and skills out of people because everyone has a unique skill, whether it be with working with children or towards the end of our time in Catechas, we were kind of teaching women English. So kind of well, also is with volunteers that didn't quite know that they could do these things, and they put their kind of effort to it, and they thrived within that environment, which was really really lovely to see.
Yeah,
So it was always
volunteers,
it was always a joy.
they'll rise to the occasion. And
Yeah,
how do you go? How did you go about getting those ideas out of people?
I quite early on to my to being a coordinator in Greece, I tried to start these kind of debrief sessions at the end of the day, where it was the volunteers' chance to air any grievances, or also to um, talk openly about how they'd like to see things happen. And it was kind of we always had it in a circle, which was kind of there was no kind of right or wrong answers. There was always kind of, as my job, it was always giving a leveled kind of response. And yeah, I mean, it was all of our activities that came about in Catskills were from these talks,
Mm.
which was, yeah, yeah, it's great.
I mean, I think the other thing about working with volunteers as well is that if you give them the space
Mm,
to have these ideas, and they will, they bring massive enthusiasm, don't they?
yeah,
You don't need to
absolutely.
do everything yourself when you're working with volunteers. You need to understand it when you're working in a group that people will all come together and do stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and people did come together and do stuff. It was, you wouldn't, I mean, the amount of energy that people brought to this organization while we were there is amazing,
Mm.
really. Things we got accomplished in kind of a short space of time of someone being there for 2 weeks. It's a very short time, but it flies by, and
Mm.
yeah, people achieve a lot. Yeah, it was always great to see.
Yeah. And I think the other feature of the volunteers that we had was I mean, quite apart from nationality, was the wide breadth of age and experience.
Absolutely, yeah, and there were. I mean, I've got some outstanding memories of these these women from America that came over in their 70s, I think 60s, 70s,
Late 60s, early
and
70s. Yeah.
they were putting all the young kids to shame that came just with the amount of energy that they had and the ideas about how to handle um, some situations with kind of patience. And it was, and you could really see everyone learning from this.
Mm.
And that's what the kind of circle kind of brought, the debrief kind of allowed these people to kind of talk about how they had done things in their past and things. That's, yeah, everyone's got something to bring to the table.
That's a really nice point to end. Thank you very much, Dan. Uh, it's a great line. Um, thank
Yeah,
you, and thank you everyone for listening, watching. Please do comment, like, share the video, tell us what you think, ask us anything, and check out the other in these series of videos. Thank you very much.
cheers, Paul.